Onigiri is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, developed and published by Cyberstep, and released for the PS4 and PC, with an Xbox One port coming sometime this year. When I started playing the game, it was on PlayStation 4, where I believed the game to be exclusively available. After writing a partial script and getting substantial footage, I discovered the PC version was in fact localized and fully translated, and yet it's still free to play. So on this episode of SUSHIBITES, I bend the rules once again, so I can discuss this really addictive little RPG and try to convince you to make an account and have a go yourselves.
Ooh.
So the knowledgeable amongst you are aware that onigiri is the name of a particular type of rice ball, served in Japan. While this game shares its name with the rice ball, it is actually a clever play on words, oni meaning demon, and giri meaning duty or obligation, a fitting name, for you play as an oni who is essentially expected to save the world from the kamakui, powerful creatures and spirits who were once sealed away hundreds of years ago but are now for some reason freed and causing havoc. Joined by various characters inspired by Japanese mythological tales, you battle through large numbers of monsters also inspired by folklore, and ultimately seek to bring the kamakui back under control. Tagging along are characters such as Lady Shizuka, the daughter princess of the shogunate, and her bodyguard Yoshitsune, and eventually the liquor-obsessed wet dream cat girl Ibaraki, my personal fave for obvious reasons. Yeah, that's right, being friends with her gives you access to free liquor. I haven't played an MMO since Ragnarok Online, back in the early to mid 2000s. Since then, I know that they have put a lot more emphasis on single-player content in this genre, and that's the same with Onigiri. While the game could be played together with the hundreds of concurrent players on the server, the whole story can in fact be played alone. It made a huge difference to the aimless wandering of Ragnarok, because I now had specified missions and goals to complete, rather than just explore, kill enemies, sell loot and level up. But Onigiri has far more besides that, whether it be identifying weapons you've obtained, smithing new weapons, or enhancing your favourite through smelting and upgrading. There is a lot to build up and improve. The game ultimately hands you many different things you can craft, create and level up, adding a large amount of replayability. This is especially so when you're scurrying around trying to find the necessary items to craft legendary weapons, or scampering about to grab the time-dependent bonus quest drops that yield fantastic loot. The partner system is another time sink. After picking your partner, you can level up their abilities through battle, which in turn has a positive effect on your skills, or increases the likelihood of finding good loot. The more you fight alongside your partner and the more time you spend upgrading their abilities, the much better they are at holding their own in battle. As you level them up, you learn more about their backstory, which you may find is ominously linked to the events of the game far closer than you expected. It is disappointing that the PS4 version is only playable in Japanese, but I'm glad to be able to play the game in English, even if it is on PC, with less comfortable controls. The added ability to understand the story makes the game far more enjoyable, and I'm glad I discovered this version of the game before I passed judgment. The localization comes with the soundtrack, promotional materials, and models for the popular Miku Miku dance software, all of which can be used for non-profit, to create promotional materials for the game or to announce your own in-game events. This made gathering the materials for this video incredibly easy, and it means this episode can be used to help promote the game. Of course, there are some negatives I can derive from Onigiri. As with most MMOs, the ability to create new characters is locked off until you complete the main quest line, and a lot of your decisions expect you to thoroughly read the skill tree beforehand so you know exactly what kind of character you're after. You can change your character's appearance at any time with the fashion shop, but as far as I'm aware you cannot respec, unless that is a partner feature I have yet to unlock. The weapon durability system adds an extra level of management to the game, which can be enjoyable, but it also means you have to keep on top of repairs. Letting your weapon strength get low before repairing increases the chances of a bad weapon repair, which reduces the overall durability of the weapon. When the durability runs down to 0, the weapon will not inflict any damage. The way I play, I only ever have 2 good weapons I use, so having to rely on a low level weapon if my other 2 get too damaged is a pain to deal with. The PC version has this ridiculous visual error where the shadows of objects display incorrectly, so I have to turn the shadows off in the in-game options. Otherwise, the PC version tops the PS4 version in multiple ways. Far less laggy in busy areas such as Onigiri. Running through the streets is like watching web video from the early 2000s on dial-up in the PS4 version, but is a whole lot smoother on PC. The loading times are better too, especially the one on startup, which for me has been as long as a minute and a half on PS4. Logging into the server is incredibly quick on either platform though, and from the login screen you can be in-game as quickly as 10 seconds. I haven't yet commented on the appearance of the game. I love it. The environments are subtly detailed, and the characters have a low quality charm to them, and the enemies are amazing! They can be pretty frightening. The Kikuzu are pretty ugly things. After playing for a short amount of time, I can now one-shot them with my leaping move, which makes them a whole lot less fearsome. They carry dango, which are essentially Japanese dumplings, and the dango themselves look like they took a fair amount of design inspiration from the Puyo puzzle games. I think this game deserves a shot, so with that we'll finish it up here. I mean, this is the tip of the iceberg. There's different weapon types, skills that upgrade through usage, guest characters, the list goes on and on. All you need to do to play is download the client, make an account, and boom, you're in. A language barrier? None. Translated to English in the PC release, though if you're playing on PS4, I'd put it as substantial. The game is still playable without knowledge of Japanese. There are guide markers for quest goals. Should you play it? Yes. I say give it a chance. It's got a fantastic amount of depth to it, but that's not to put you off. There's a lot to sink your teeth into and appreciate. This has been SUSHIBITES. Like and comment if you want to see more, and remember you can drop your suggestions for games or subjects in the completely anonymous suggestion box in the description. Thank you for watching.